This video is for anyone that uses their phone while it's plugged in. This is a non-contact voltage meter. As you can see, no voltage going to the phone right here. No voltage in the hand. Holding the phone, voltage meter starts going off. Crazy stuff, guys. Do not, I repeat, do not use your phone while it's plugged in.
What's up, YouTube? Welcome back to my channel. How you guys doing? If you guys are brand new here to the channel, you guys don't know what we do, don't worry, I'm gonna break it down for you guys, man. We talk about the most scariest and creepiest videos on the net, on the web, from YouTube videos to TikTok videos, IG reels, Facebook, anything weird, unusual, unexplained, you can find right here on this channel. Just want to thank the seekers, man, watching the videos entirely and commenting down below. I greatly appreciate the support. Found this video for you guys today. Let's do what we do best, seekers. Stay with me, y'all. Let's seek the truth.
There's something going on underground they're not telling us. But why is this water bottle shaking? Just sitting on the ground.
Real quick.
There's something insane going on beneath us.
Underground city?
The elite supposedly have a $21 trillion city underneath us. The level of weird just keeps going up every single day. I don't think this is an earthquake. What do you think? Stay weird.
So you guys are aware that it is outwardly admitted that McDonald's meat contains human DNA, right? So what if they were doing the same thing to the dogs? Do you guys remember this commercial over here? Check this out.
Bacon! Bacon! Where's the bacon? I smell bacon! 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 Gotta be bacon! Only one thing smells like bacon! That's bacon! 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 There! From that bag! What's it say? I can't read! Please! Please! Get it what's in the bag! Chewy, yummy, smoky bacon!
There you go.
Oh boy! Oh boy! Oh boy! No! 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 It's bacon!
No, it's Bacon Strips, brand dog snack from Purina. Bacon Strips. Dogs don't know it's not bacon.
Did y'all hear her? She said, no, it's not bacon, it's bacon. Dogs don't know it's not bacon. Now, the reason why I brought this up is because there is a documentary that actually tells you that bacon is actually dog meat. That pig meat is actually too expensive and dogs are more cheaper, and it explains the whole process for you guys, y'all. This is crazy, y'all. So they've been feeding dogs this whole time, just like allegedly with humans.
Bacon is now processed and even pre-cooked in factories. It all starts with a load of skinned dog carcasses. Most factories elect to use dogs because it's cheaper than pork, and customers can rarely taste the difference.
Wow.
The meat is placed skin side down on a conveyor belt to ensure the employees judge it only by the content of its character. The conveyor takes the meat to a cheese rolling machine, which pelts it with slices of Kraft singles. This process is rough on the meat, so it's not uncommon for some afterbirth to be evacuated by the product. This afterbirth travels down a separate conveyor belt, where it will then be used in cosmetics. Meanwhile, the meat pieces are bathed in salt water and are sent to employees to begin the brining process, giving the bacon its signature fishy taste.
So there you go. To everyone that thought that they were eating pig, you guys are actually eating dog, and also dogs are actually eating dogs as well too. This is crazy, y'all, because this is what NDAs do. This is what NDAs do. Did you guys know any of this? Let me know down in the comments below, y'all. Like, follow, and share for more videos like this. The shift is here. Let's get it. Peace in.
I didn't.
People, it's happening again. They hit Russia with the mud flood. Oh, you son of a bitch. Now, I didn't think I was going to be alive long enough to see this. This is mud flood. This is mud flood.
It is.
For all those people who didn't believe me, I told y'all. This is going on right now in Russia. If you can't stop them one way, just send in the mud flood. And Pakistan,
All over?
they're also being hit with the mud flood. What is going on? This one seems to be mixed with something that made it look like cement. People, the world is changing. Are we gonna survive?
This video is for anyone that uses their phone while it's plugged in. This is a non-contact voltage meter. As you can see, no voltage going to the phone right here. When the phone is plugged in, you're gonna see a lot of voltage. Now, this is where it gets very interesting, guys. Look how far away it is. It's still measuring voltage, right? So, a lot of people sleep next to their phone that's plugged in. And it is literally, this is going into your fucking brain, your body, damaging all your cells. But watch this. Not holding the phone, no voltage in the hand. Holding the phone, voltage meter starts going off. Crazy stuff, guys. Do not, I repeat, do not use your phone while it's plugged in. Do not keep it next to your bed. Put it in the bathroom or something. You don't need it fucking close to you overnight. Just, this is very, very dangerous stuff, guys. Okay? Peace and love.
See, because do you guys keep your phones plugged up next to you, I guess at night when it's charging? I think watching this video is going to make you rethink that, bro. Just put it in a drawer. Just keep it far away from you, man. We saw those voltage levels.
Crazy things going on in the world right now. Over $1.4 million in Nintendo Switch 2s were stolen from a semi-truck in Colorado. An ambulance that was transporting a dead body hit a pothole so hard that the body came back to life. A Titanic escape simulator game is coming to PlayStation in 2026, probably before GTA 6. A Florida man was arrested after attempting to cross the Atlantic in a homemade hamster wheel. Of course, Florida. New York City officially now has a subtropical climate. The first ever heat advisory was issued for Alaska last month. A Swedish billionaire bought 400,000 acres of the Amazon rainforest just to protect it. A 98-year-old World War II veteran used a tank to run over a Tesla. The Taliban suspended any activity of playing chess in Afghanistan due to the religious considerations and concerns that it's a form of gambling. Squatters were not leaving this man's home, so he moved in with them.
I want you to be very honest with me. What is happening in Milwaukee, Wisconsin is normal? They are claiming that what happened in Milwaukee, Wisconsin is being deemed the 1,000-year flood.
Ooh.
Why? Because it's just not normal. Take a look at this video. Take a look at that right there. Certain areas received up to 12 inches of rain. Just look. Tell me this is all normal.
Don't look like it.
Look at that. This map right here shows the incredible totals that most areas received. Take a look at it.
I see the highest is 14.
The question needs to be asked, such as I did with the floods in Texas. Why weren't they warned about what was coming? Somebody had to have some type of knowledge of the amount of flooding that was on the way to Milwaukee, Wisconsin. Take a look at this video. Just look at that.
Whole
Check
apartment
out the
gone.
incredible amount of water that accumulated in that street as she's trying to drive through it. This is unbelievable. Look at this. Wow.
That was too high.
So my question to you, as always, what is going on with these intense, crazy storms causing all this major flooding? Let me know your thoughts in the comments, and as always, I'd love to hear from you.
What has happened to Justin Bieber? Yo, Justin, are you okay, man? He posted this up on social media. What is going on anymore with this guy? He seems to be posting up a lot of weird stuff on social media. And now look at him. What is going on? Yo, Justin, I hope that you are okay, my guy. This is very bizarre stuff, you all. And really, this doesn't even look like the same person at all. It really doesn't. So what do you all think is going on with this guy? Comment down below and let me know. But man, I hope that everything is okay because, again, this is very bizarre stuff. The fact that he posted this up on social media, what is he trying to say? What is he trying to say? Is he trying to say that he needs help I don't know. I don't know what's going on. All I know is this is very bizarre. Again, what do you all think?
So now the LBs is giving people warnings about aliens coming here in November. But these aliens don't look like this. They are trying to say they look like this. 7 feet tall black aliens. This video is about to get a little dark and a little deep. Stay with me. First, I want to say the black carbon aliens control everything in this universe. These people are trying to distract you from the real truth. So when these aliens come, will it be real or will it be Project Bluebeam? I need people to understand we are living in different timelines. What if I told you the timeline we live in right now is really dead? They need other life forms to come back to save us. These so-called world leaders, they've been cloned by the great aliens. Remember, our timeline is not moving, therefore it's dead. These great aliens are really artificial intelligence that live underground. They are not really aliens, they are robots, and they live underground bunkers. They've been working with these scientists for a long ass time because these great aliens or robots was once humans. So when you look at these life forms, you are looking at yourself in the future. They was once us. They sacrificed their spirituality for technology. And when they did this, they lost their spirit. Now they're trying to get back their spiritual roots. And if you look at the world, you will notice the same shit is happening all over again. Look at the internet. The internet is really the hive mind where everyone talk the same, look the same, think the same, react the same, trending topics. Every world leader you see is a great alien or artificial intelligence. They try to give us this brainwashed ass stories about man coming from monkeys. No, we are becoming artificial intelligence, the great aliens.
Elon Musk.
What do you guys think about that theory, bro? He says that he can go, it looks like he was about to be go from around, he's about to go even deeper. They said the aliens look like 7 foot out. That was not what I imagined these thought aliens were gonna look like, but
Says that AI, artificial intelligence, could become more dangerous than nuclear war.
The danger of AI is much greater than the danger of nuclear warheads by a lot. And nobody would suggest that we allow anyone to just build nuclear warheads if they want. That would be insane. And mark my words, AI is far more dangerous than nukes. Far. So why do we have no regulatory oversight? This is insane.
Well, I definitely don't want nuclear war. So if AI is worse, that's no good. Shabadoo!
Hey y'all, look at this, y'all.
Okay.
Look at this. I don't know if you guys been paying attention to the skies as of late, but the sun has been changing. Look at this video over here Gina Marie Colvin took of the sun in her state, y'all. This thing looks like a eyeball. A real eyeball, y'all. I got some crazy videos to show y'all, but check this out.
This sun, I've never got this image before with my phone. It looks pretty strange, like this.
eyeball.
Yo, it looks like a super Halesian ball, y'all. Why did it look like a red Kamehameha? A Masenko? Yo, that is crazy, y'all. Now check this out. She also caught it doing this the other day. What is that? Is that somebody standing? Is that a light being in it? Or that's some type of arrow? It looks like something's obfuscating the sun. Y'all see that? Have y'all noticed that the sun has gotten brighter since the last solar eclipse of 2024? I noticed this, y'all. Let me know down in the comments below, y'all. But check this out. What is going on here? This phenomenon, this thing right here was caught in the skies of Canada. Like, how do you explain this, y'all? This is the Lord of the Rings. Are you kidding me? Y'all, this is why that song, I Can Feel It in the Air, is going viral right now, because how do you explain this? This is crazy. This is literally the conjunction of the spheres, y'all. And get this, y'all see how they recorded this in Canada? Tell me why they were seeing the same thing in Cortez, Jamaica, y'all. Look at this. The same thing that they're seeing in Canada right now. What is this? What is this, y'all? That thing is huge. What is this? Oh, what? Wow. Y'all, can y'all feel it? Can y'all feel it? Cause I can. Let me know exactly what it is that you feel down in the comments below, y'all. The shift is here. Let's continue to get it. Peace in.
Here's some of the most disturbing moments in kids' TV shows. Invader Zim has some disturbing moments, but the episode Dark Harvest definitely takes the cake. Problems arise when Zim is sent to the nurse. Realizing she'll discover his alien organs, he starts to steal the organs from kids within the school and replacing them with inanimate objects. After stealing an organ from almost every student, Zim's new appearance shocked all of those watching.
Okay. Any of the seekers watching Beta Zim?
I've been working out.
He's revealed to now be a fat blob, oozing liquids and intestines, looking like he could burst at any second. After finding out he's missing a pair of lungs, he hunts down the last healthy kid in the school. At this point in the episode, there's no more comedy present. They instead rely on fear.
Oh.
What the fuck is this? Nah, I'm done. Apple got us fucked up. They really think we stupid. They be playing right in our face, year in and year out. The same fucking phone. Every single year. Y'all, look at this shit. What the hell did they change? Why we keep getting the same phone for more money? You can't make this shit up, y'all. They really took the little things on the side, the little lights, from right here, and they put it on the right side. Bruh, it's hurting me, y'all. I'm really about to say this, and I never thought I would say this. I have been thinking it, but each year I'm like, iPhone is about to get better, and they always let me down. So now, I think I might have to go to fucking Galaxy, y'all. Is that the new wave? Is that the new trend? I don't want to pay $1,500 for the same fucking phone, bruh. I've been doing it for the last couple years. I'm sick and tired of it. I'm not doing it no more. It's either I'm going to keep this 16 that I got, or I'm going over to Galaxy. I need y'all thoughts down below in the comments. Am I tripping the way I feel? Or do y'all feel the same way as me? This is criminal. We can't keep letting them get away with this shit. Fuck the colors. I want a whole new design. Nigga, I want my iPhone to start making food. Something. So y'all let me know down below in the comments. Are y'all buying this junk? Are you keeping your same iPhone? Or are you...
If you don't know...
I just keep, man. Just keep it till the wheels fall off, bro. I mean, if you don't want to upgrade, you don't have to, but I just keep mine till the wheel fall off. If I don't see anything major improvements, I mean, there's no point of upgrading.
What's happening tonight, you need to watch this video right now. Make sure you share this video with someone, because if you miss this tonight, you won't see it for a very long time. So there is something called the Perseid meteor shower, which has been happening for a while, but it's going to peak on the 12th and the 13th of August. Now, I've seen a lot of people thinking that this is only going to be in America, but no, you will be able to see it from the UK and Europe, and this is how. Now, to see this, you do not need binoculars, a telescope or anything. You will literally be able to see it very clearly. All you need to do is get somewhere out of a city, drive into the countryside or whatever, somewhere with little to no light pollution. You might still be able to get glimpses of it if you're in a city or a built-up area, but the best chance and the best view you're going to get is if you go somewhere where there is basically no light exposure. For the best chance to see it, keep your eyes out between 10 PM and midnight and get out just before it's gonna come so that your eyes can adjust to the dark. Look up towards the north, and if you're in an area where there's basically no light pollution, I can pretty much guarantee you will see it, especially if it's not cloudy. Now, this is an occurrence that happens normally once every year, so if you do miss it, you will see it again, but not for another year. So make sure you get outside and you're prepared, share this video with a friend, and hit that follow button, and I'll keep you updated.
Swimming things, part 4. Would you go swimming in this red tiled bottom pool that's in Thailand? It's kind of cool, but it is also kind of like you're bathing in blood. I don't know about it. This is absolutely horrific, and I could never, and I mean never, go in this pool. Going out of the clown's mouth, turning around, seeing the clown, my soul would leave my body. Also, why does the hair look like SpaghettiOs? This looks like a pool that would be in a horror movie, and all the lights would go out all of a sudden, and now I'm scaring myself. I found this image on Google just like this, and yeah, this person gets it. This pool drain, it sure is plotting. It is plotting. Pool drains are not your friend. Remember that. This abandoned pool gives me the heebie-jeebies. What is that down there? That like steel thing that's like in the water right here? That is freaking me out. This image has banned all of my boozles. This looks like a lazy river, but then you go around the corner and these freaking wave pool drains. Why? That is terrifying. Imagine going around that circle and just like seeing that. I would be imagining the creepiest things behind there. And this pool where they put spent power rods, this freaks me out so bad that I don't know why. It's the forbidden waffle. I've seen Final Destination 4. You don't want to be there, buddy. I have more creepy pool photos coming tomorrow. Stay tuned for that. In the meantime, watch this video of a wave pool and let me know how you're feeling.
Okay, what's with wave pools? What's that? Like white stuff beneath the water though.
This YouTuber is claiming that Roblox has banned all his accounts and even sent him a cease and desist letter for exposing predators on their platform. Schlep has over 700,000 subscribers on YouTube and he primarily makes videos about exposing predators in the Roblox community. In fact, he says that his work has led to 6 arrests in real life. So with that in mind, I don't think he was expecting Roblox to react like this. In the legal letter, they said that he was engaging in unauthorized and harmful activities on the platform, that he exposed users to increased risk and violated the game's policies. Now, Schlep was outraged because Roblox has long been accused of not doing enough to stop predators using their platform, which is partly why vigilantes like Schlep have started taking action of their own. In fact, Schlep said that he himself was groomed on the platform when he was a child. So for the company to end up threatening him with legal action, it's got a lot of people real angry. They said, while Roblox acknowledges that your stated intentions may be to protect children, your methods, including failing to immediately report suspicious activity to Roblox through proper channels, are actively interfering with Roblox's established safety protocols and critically are exposing Roblox users to increased risk. Now, Schlep has responded, insisting that he has reported through proper channels many times before without success, saying, "We send you everything." Now, the backlash to this has been pretty intense. A lot of the gaming community have sided with Schlep, leading to a Roblox mass unfollowing movement trending, and even with users going after the CEO personally. However, some have sided with Roblox, saying you can't just go out and fight crime if you feel like the police aren't doing enough, and that this should be left to the people who are trained to do so. So, what do you guys think? Is it fair that Schlep got banned, or should he be allowed back on the platform to continue his good work?
Why isn't anybody talking about the fact that there has been a mass kidnapping in Virginia? From August 1st till today, August 12th, 50 children have gone missing in Virginia. There are no news stories speaking about this. There are no higher officials speaking about this. This is 50 children. Look at this shit. We're not going to sit here and act like this is not happening. Look at all these children.
What's
Why
happening?
hasn't there been any news coverage? Look at all of these kids, man. Come on, y'all. For real. Look at this shit, man. This is sad right here. All of these children are missing.
Something going down.
No news coverage. Nobody saying anything. I'm gonna sit this right here, man. You're gonna sit right here. This don't make no sense, man. A mass kidnapping. Who's taking all these children? This can be any one of our children here.
We need answers.
Any one of us. As parents, somebody gotta step up, man. We gotta make this viral, man. Apparently something is going on in Virginia that we do not know about. But people need to see this. Higher officials need to see this. Higher officials need to hear about this. For real.
Just really weird scenarios and
Shit, a
things
video,
that
man.
happen revolving around this flood.
This tragedy happens on Friday. They were literally seeding clouds. The same Wednesday that the warning went out. The organization is called Rainmaker. Rainmaker does not have to provide environmental impact statements. The CEO, the owner, has admitted that he was seeding clouds on Wednesday, but he says, what I did couldn't have had enough effect to have caused these problems. On his official permit, he doesn't have to provide any environmental proof that what he's doing doesn't have the effect.
Dubai was doing the cloud seeding, and it was raining a little bit here and there, and all of a sudden, Dubai floods.
Yeah.
And it's
Oh,
like,
shoot, I didn't think of
you know,
that.
but it's like the domino effect.
We blame it on climate change. We're like, we're literally changing it.
Yeah, we're the ones
legally
making
doing
it
right. Yeah.
But I really think accountability doesn't exist. If anything comes from us talking
Or
about
awareness.
it, yeah, I think people need to be aware that permissions have been given that shouldn't have been given, and I think accountability needs to exist. So that's what I'm pushing for.
That's what caused the floods in Milwaukee.
for 15 minutes, my usual. And she's like, oh, no, babe, sorry, you got to use something else. I don't recommend this. And I was like, sorry, excuse me. It's okay. I've been using this for 20 years. It's been fine to me. And she's like, yeah, no, I don't want to be health responsible, so I'm not going to give you this lotion, but I'm going to give you this, and that should work even better. I was livid. I was like, you know what, yeah, I just didn't want to go back and forth. I didn't even want to go back and forth. I just wanted to get it done, ready for my holiday, go home and pack. Boy, who knew that was going to be my biggest mistake here? I go on the sunbed. No, it's feeling a bit tingly. It's feeling a bit tangy. Like, I feel like I got heat rub all over my body. Plus, like, I hit a little pepper soup on top. Like, I was like, okay. You know that feeling when you got a relaxer? That's how it felt. But I was like, you know what? Let me power through. Whatever. Come out. Now I'm looking like I've been in the air fryer for about 40 years. Great stuff.
Damn.
Was swallowed by a python at work. On October 23rd, an Indonesian man reported his wife Jahra missing when she failed to return home after working a shift at a rubber plantation. After searching the plantation, her scarf, sandals, jacket, and working tools were found, but she could not be located. Not long after, a 20-foot python was spotted that looked extremely bloated. They killed and cut open the snake and found Jahra's body inside. Her body was intact, meaning that she had been swallowed whole.
Ooh. By a python swallowed whole?
This is why you should always actually listen to what children tell you. This 9-year-old boy literally lived on midnight snacks because every night he would come downstairs and eat a ton of junk food. Until one night he was in the kitchen and thought he heard something from around the corner, but everyone was asleep. So he peeked around the corner and that's when he saw a man guzzling milk straight from the carton. The terrified boy ran upstairs, got his parents, and they all checked out the kitchen, but it looked normal. They told him that his imagination was just playing tricks on him, but the boy knew what he saw. So days went by, but the boy always felt like he was being watched, until one night he looked up at his ceiling vent and saw 2 eyes staring back down at him. He ran to go tell his parents, but again, they told him it's just your imagination, stop bothering us. Then the boy smelled this really horrible stench coming from the ceiling, so he convinced his parents to cut into it and see what was up there. And there they found that same skinny man who was drinking the milk dead in the ceiling.
Listen to the kids, man. They're telling the truth.
Scariest urban legend from each state, part 3. Annabelle from Connecticut. The demonic doll you see in the Conjuring and Annabelle movies was actually based on a real-life Raggedy Ann doll that was supposedly inhabited by a spirit of a dead girl who was then trapped in a spirit case by Ed and Lorraine Warren. It's also stated if you look at the doll the wrong way or dare to touch the case, your future looks extremely dark.
The lies that Disney tells to avoid traumatizing children. Pocahontas. She was 10 years old. And he was 27.
They didn't put that in an animated movie.
She called him father. Sleeping Beauty. It is based on a story where a married king finds a sleeping princess. And the princess gave birth to a pair of twins while she was sleeping. The Little Mermaid. The prince married another. And the Little Mermaid turned into sea foam.
I don't know if that's cap or fact, man. We're gonna have to check that out. These videos we watch together, man, always check for yourself.
3 seconds. If you don't see it, you die.
Is that an elephant?
Alright, time's up. And if you didn't see the hyena, you are now a hypothetical hashtag. Let's talk about the lion-hyena beef and how it has a living laugh track guts deep in an elephant. So it's actually not a beef more than a blowout, because lions do hyenas dirty. Being an animal nerd is realizing lions steal from hyenas more than hyenas do to lions. The reason you thought it was the opposite was because all those times researchers would watch a lion eat and hyenas trying to steal a piece, whole time the hyenas were trying to steal back what was stolen from them. Hyenas have a higher hunting success rate because they're homicide on Duracell. They do not get tired, they will run you into a grave. Lions, especially males, are good, but they don't have the stamina, but they do have the bulk to solo bigger prey, but also take a hyena's lunch. Fun fact, it takes about 20 hyenas to humble a male lion. And they know it. They also know that hyenas are their biggest competition on the plains and will murk them on sight. Now, hyenas will roll in clans of up to 80, so they'll get their get back when they have the numbers, but band for band versus a lion king, they take the L almost every time. Hyenas are smart, and they've been known to hide inside expired elephants to avoid not just rival hyenas, but pirating lions too. Doing that means they can finesse more mealtime without getting hurt, murked, or put on a shirt. Moral of the story? Now you see why they pulled up in the elephant graveyard. Maybe. I don't know. The more you know.
This daycare owner shot her husband twice after she found this out. Shantiri Weems and her husband James owned this daycare called Kids Castle. On July 2022, a woman whose child was attending Kids Castle approached Shantiri and told her that her daughter was being molested by James. Shantiri lost it, and in that moment, she made her way to a hotel in Washington, D.C. where James was staying at and shot him in the neck and thigh. Shantiri admits that her intentions were to paralyze James because she was just so angry. Keep in mind, Shantiri loved kids and her job, and she wanted this daycare to be something where kids felt like they were safe. And she said after seeing the pain in this mother's face, she snapped. James had contact with 93 children, and most of them rode on the daycare bus with him, which is where most of the abuse happened. And this story only gets more disturbing, and James was also a retired Baltimore police officer. But ultimately, Shantiri was sentenced to 4 years in prison, and the judge said that she should have never taken the law into her own hands. James, on the other hand, faces 30 counts of child sexual abuse and assault charges.
Blood-curdling facts that you wish you never knew. Part 18. A man from Queens once spent 5 months in jail completely unaware that his bail was just $2. Since spiders molt, when you see what you might think is a dead spider, it could just be that the spider left behind its exoskeleton and is now bigger than before. Almost everyone on Earth is walking around with a bunch of poop inside of them. Scientists accidentally killed the world's oldest living animal, which was a clam that lived to be 507 years old. Statistically speaking, at least one person who comments on this video will not be alive tomorrow. The real reason you shouldn't eat raw cookie dough isn't because of getting sick from eating raw eggs. It's because you shouldn't eat raw flour, which contains fecal matter from all the birds flying over the field and pooping on the wheat.
Today we're going to be talking about the urban legend of Hug and Molly from Abbeville, Alabama. Also, I'm starting a new series about urban legends by state, and we're starting with Alabama because it's the first one in alphabetical order. She's a ghostly presence that is 7 feet tall, and she wears like this black cloak, and she haunts the town at night, and she apparently grabs kids that are being bad, and she screams in their ear at the top of her lungs, which can be deafening. Some people think that she was a mother who lost her children. Some people think that she was a school teacher back when she was alive. I like the school teacher theory, honestly, because like I was a substitute for years and I would also do this in the afterlife. Also, I love that it's so southern that it's actually Hug and Molly. Like as a Texan, okay, I appreciate the southern drawl on that. It looks like she even has her own Pokemon card.
What?
But she's so entwined with the town of Abbeville that she's even on the sign for when you enter the town. This would be a great place to take the kiddos. This is from the Hug and Molly movie. Why does it kind of look like me at the movie theater when I'm pissed off that they run out of Twizzlers? But like 7 feet tall? Hello, mommy. She's an icon. She is the moment. We love her. How do you feel about Miss Molly?
I ain't going there, bro. I can scratch that off the list. Hug and Molly, we will not be going there.
What people saw in this picture is what led them to believe that ghosts are real. When you look at this picture, what do you see? It just looks like a picture of a man having a picnic, sitting on a bench with his child at the park. The guy in this picture's name is Christopher. His wife was the one holding the camera and taking this picture. They didn't think anything of it. He posted the picture on his Facebook page, and that's when people noticed something in the picture and had so many questions. Zoom in, take a look around. Can you see it? It looks like there's a woman in the top left corner of this picture. Christopher and his wife both confirmed that it was just the three of them at the park this day, and they didn't notice anything when she took the picture. This is where it takes an interesting spin, because just a year before the picture was taken, this woman went missing in the same area. She was later found deceased inside of the pond. Some people said that this figure in the top left corner has an eerily similar resemblance. What do you think about this?
This is the haunt.
Could that have been a ghost, man? I don't know. After hearing what happened in that area, bro, it definitely sound like some spirits definitely roaming around there. I wouldn't be in that area. They caught that on camera too, 4K. Who knows?
Haunting story that inspired sinners. Robert Johnson was a young man living on a plantation in rural Mississippi with dreams of becoming a musician. It's said that he walked to a crossroads and made a deal with the devil to improve his guitar playing. Because anyone who heard Robert Johnson play, and you can find some of his audio on YouTube, they all said he was extremely talented. Legend says he sold his soul to Satan, and others will say the African god Papa Legba. When you make a deal to the devil, he always comes back to collect. Robert Johnson got to experience some success, but it was short-lived. Robert Johnson died for reasons unknown at the age of 27, making him an inaugural member of the 27 Club. Selling your soul to the devil could also be a phrase from Southern conservatives to say that you are leaving the church and instead choosing to play music in dance halls where there is drinking and other kinds of sinning going on. Some other more logical theories are that Robert Johnson had syphilis or that he was poisoned for flirting with another man's wife. A fellow blues player, Honeyboy Edwards, claims to be witness to this poisoning. Honeyboy said Robert was offered a bottle of whiskey and he knocked it out of his hand, saying that he should never drink something that he hasn't seen opened, which is good advice. Instead, Robert got mad at him and accepted a second drink and fell ill hours later. A lot of his songs reference Crossroads and the devil, and Ryan Coogler said on the Mike Muse show that these mythical references helped inspire the idea for Sinners. If you've seen the movie, let me know your thoughts and follow for more.
I've heard they said Sinners is like a freaking great movie. They've been clamoring. They even put it back in IMAX and some more IMAX theaters. Any of the seekers actually checked it out? Sounds like a crazy story, man. But Ryan Coogler got, I guess, inspired by to put it in the movie. That's why I guess it's so good.
Little girl will forever share her birthday with the date her mother died.
This is who you ruined her life. She will never know her mommy.
23-year-old Yesenia Aguilar was 8 months pregnant when this woman who was under the influence ran her over. Yesenia and her husband were walking together on the sidewalk when Courtney Pandolfi came out of nowhere and hit Yesenia. What's crazy is that this was Courtney's 5th DUI since 2008. Fortunately, after an emergency C-section, the baby survived. But the mother didn't, and the father, James Alvarez, says that it's been difficult accepting the fact that his wife died on the same day that his daughter was born.
Scariest urban legends from every US state. This shows some of the most popular urban legends from every single state across the USA. And as you've probably guessed, in this series we're going through all of them. From the most normal ones to the really dark, disturbing ones. So let's kick off part 2. Oh, this is creepy. So the legend goes, a long time ago in New York, in a children's hospital. Children would be in this hospital and at night obviously they'd basically just be left alone. The legend was about someone called Cropsy. Cropsy has a hook for a hand and lurks around at night in the children's hospital. He stalked and unalived these people who he found walking in the corridors at night. Apparently everybody who goes to camp in upstate New York knows about this legend, so let me know if that's true. This is where things get even more disturbing. A documentary was posted which basically confirmed this was real. Convicted killer and kidnapper Andrew Rand. That's him there in the middle, and it was real. A follow button, it's going to get crazy, and let me know which state you're from.
It's a crazy story, man, that happened in New York. What the hell? Kids' hospitals? I don't know why they mad.
Let's talk about some real creepy American urban legends. And today we'll be talking about the Dead Children's Playground. Now, the Dead Children's Playground is one of Huntsville, Alabama's most haunted locations. And it is located within Maple Hill Cemetery. And it might look like a typical ordinary playground, but the kids that play on this playground is not alive. Now, accounts differ on why locals call this playground the Dead Children's Playground, because it was originally called the Maple Hill Park. But some say the children that passed away in the 1918 Spanish flu pandemic was buried in the Maple Hill Cemetery that's like right next door to this park, come back at night to play on this playground. And others think that the reason of the paranormal activity at this playground was from a series of child abductions that happened in Huntsville in around like the 1960s. And there was like several children bodies that was recovered near this playground. But there has been lots of people over the years that have encountered seeing a lot of paranormal activity going on. Like they could literally see the swings moving without any type of wind or drift to be able to push these, these swings. Lots of people have actually spotted children and that like would disappear off, or different type of orbs. There's even some kind of pictures online that people have claimed to have taken of these children or the different orbs around this playground. But I mean, it's not really weird that this playground would be haunted because it's literally connected to a very popular cemetery. And like I said before, with this pandemic, this was like a worldwide pandemic, and lots of children and adults passed away during this pandemic. And it unalived at least the estimate of 50 million people worldwide during the time. And the hospitals were like filled, and the doctors was working long shifts to, help the patients out. And a lot of patients basically had to be treated at home in quarantine. And it got to the point where bodies was literally having to be stacked on wagons and hauled to morgues by horses. And according to the Alabama Department of Public Health, it hit Alabama really hard. But although there's not an actual account of the number of children that passed away during this pandemic, but people believe that it was at least hundreds that was buried in the Maple Hill Cemetery. And the original playground equipment was removed in 2007 to make room for the expanding cemetery. But a lot of the locals and citizens was outraged and demanded that the original, equipment be returned. And the city responded with the new playground that stands there today. So let me know if y'all ever heard of this urban legend, or if y'all live in the Huntsville, Alabama area and y'all have seen some stuff, because I believe it. The playground is right beside the cemetery, so that's not really weird that a lot of paranormal activity happens here. But let me know what y'all think in the comments.
Alabama is a haunting place, bro.
Well, it's Halloween again, which means once a year I have an excuse to talk about this, so here you go. The most toxic relationship in all of nature. Or at least top 2 if certain entanglements count. That is an anglerfish, although you might recognize them as the demon guppy that nearly put Nemo in a foster home. It's also canon that this was a female, because the female fish are about 40 times bigger than the males they dwarf. That's like being 5'2" with some attitude, but your man's only 1.5 inches. So the bite-sized male tracks her down in the dark through pheromones and bites her. You already know how this goes. While still attached to her, the male starts to degenerate and his body begins to fuse with hers on some like Deviant Steven Universe timing. I'm talking about like even his blood vessels fuse into hers. This parasitic +1 even starts to lose his internal organs, because again, he's not like he's gonna need them. And that's it. That's the rest of his life, just a war on the female whose only purpose is fertilizing eggs. Basically becomes a living STD, and like Stid, sometimes you don't just get one. Some females can end up with several lumps on their bodies that used to be males. It's a nasty codependent relationship, because the male's a parasite that will pretty much die if he doesn't find a female to leech off of. And the female just uses him as a nut factory with no almonds. Whole time she can have a whole herd of he herpes, or I guess himpies, stuck to her. Now you see why she wanted Nemo in the system. I don't even blame her. That's a horrendous script to have written for you.
These are scary urban legends in each state, part 4. Up first is La Mala Hora. La Mala Hora is located in New Mexico and is a very scary and dangerous demonic spirit. She walks around lonely roads after midnight and terrorizes those who travel alone. People who have seen her say she appears as a large black lump, constantly moving and changing shape. But the scariest part about La Mala Hora is that anyone who lays eyes on her will be driven completely insane. She tries to hypnotize and paralyze anyone who encounters her. Some people even believe the devil himself is scared of La Mala Hora. People who live in New Mexico also say that she really never appears in human form, but if she does, it means somebody you know or yourself is going to die soon. So if you live in New Mexico, I feel bad for you.
La Mala Hora. When I go to New Mexico, we gotta be
Creepy
aware.
True Stories Part 2. Dylan Koshman moved in with his 2 cousins, Colin and Nick. Dylan had met a new girlfriend named Erin. They fell for each other and she was always at the house, so the cousins really got mad and started to demand more rent from Dylan. One night, Dylan and the cousins got really drunk and a big fight broke out. They told Dylan to move out that night and they said he left and never came back. A few days later, Dylan's mom asked them to file a missing person report, but they never did. Instead, the girlfriend did. No traces of Dylan have been found since, and nobody knows what happened. The aunt says she found bloody tissues in their house, and the cousins say that Dylan left at 2 a.m., but the neighbors complained at 4 a.m. to the cops.
about loud noises. Lesson of the day, your girl will ride for you. What do you guys think happened? Did the cousins do something?
I don't know.
Scariest conspiracy theories in the world that will seriously change your life. So as we know, this photo right here shows all of the different conspiracy theories in the world, going from the least scary to, well, the scariest of the scary. So today let's kick off part 6 where stuff gets even wilder. So if you're easily scared or easily confused, keep on scrolling, do not watch this series. If you're here for the long run though, let's go. So today we've got dream theory, often referred to as alternate perception. Now this is just messed up and really confusing, so stick with me. Right, so you know when you have a lucid dream where it's really believable and you feel everything? You can literally control what happens in your dreams. It may be like real life. You know, you may be doing things you do in your everyday life, whatever. And sometimes you wake up and think, was that a dream? That's really weird. The theory is that we're actually switched. Now, stay with me. Basically, the theory is that what we're in right now, what I'm talking to you, you're watching TikTok, whatever, this is actually the dream world. So we're all dreaming. When we go to sleep and dream, that's actually the real world. See what I mean? Done a little switcheroo there. See what I mean? It's messed up and confusing. But if you think about it, we can control some of our dreams. So it is possible that that's another consciousness and another life. Hit that follow button so you never miss a part.
That dream theory, bro, got to me, man. How many have been in a dream yet? We've been able to control it. I think that only happened to me a couple of times. That's freaking mind-blowing to say that. I guess the moment we're in right now is the dream world, but when we actually go to sleep and dream, that's a real life, a different set of consciousness. It's mind-boggling, man, but it's interesting though. We gotta dive deep into that one. These are some important questions, man, with some interesting ones.
This will make you always keep your hands under the covers. A young girl is home alone because her parents are out of town, with only her dog for company. She turns on the TV to learn that a killer is on the loose in her neighborhood. She runs to check the windows and locks all the doors, but she forgets about the basement window. She takes the dog with her to go to sleep and lets him sleep under the bed. But she awakes hours later to a dripping sound. She's too scared to move, so she reaches down to see if her dog is still there, and is granted with a reassuring lick. She then goes to the bathroom to make sure there isn't a leak. But when she walks in, she finds her dog dead, hanging from the shower head with blood slowly dripping onto the tiles. On the bathroom mirror, written in the dog's blood, are the words, "People can live too."
Mythical creatures caught on camera. The Bloop.
About to see the Bloop? I thought that was a megalodon. Clear so far. We see something swimming in the distance.
Did y'all know that Miss Mary Mac, the nursery rhyme, is not so cute and sweet? Now let's talk about the scary meaning behind Miss Mary Mac. Now, like I mentioned before, a lot of these nursery rhymes, kid-friendly books and songs and movies was not kid-friendly and often originated from something so dark and creepy. Now, legend has it, Miss Mary Mac was born back in the day, and she was born with lots of deformities. Back then, people literally looked at you as if you were some type of alien if you had any type of deformities. They weren't educated on, being autistic or, having Down syndrome or different, things that we see on a day-to-day basis. So they said that her family was ashamed of her, and she grew up in the church. Like the church basically, helped her out. And the church also was in charge over the graveyards and keeping up with the graves. So they said she was always out there and she was really good at it. And she was insanely strong to the point where she had like superhuman strength. Like literally could just do all this stuff that would take several men hours and hours and even sometimes days to do. She could do in like 30 minutes all by herself. And it was said that the children in the area would often pick on her and taunt her and make these different songs where they made the Miss Mary Mac, 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 all dressed in black, 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 the song that we used to sing. And allegedly after the third time they sung that song, that's when Mary would come out and tear them up one by one. Now some even say that this song comes from a U.S. warship called the USS Mary Mac or something like that. And it was said that the ship was actually black and covered with silver buttons, which is what the song states about the silver buttons on the back. But that still was a ship that was used to fight in the Civil War. So either or, if it was based off Mary the Gravekeeper or this U.S. warship, why is this a children's song? And another thing is, when did we learn this? Because I remember just, doing Ring Around the Rosie and Miss Mary Mac. But who taught us that? I don't ever remember like my parents or my family members like singing that to us. So how did we know about this song? But yeah, a lot of these stories have a lot of twisted lore and just weird things. And I'm like, who made this into a kid nursery rhyme? But let me know what y'all think in the comments. And I'm also going to tag another creator that goes way in depth about the legend of Miss Mary Mac, the Grave Keeper. Let me know what y'all think in the comments.
That's just some important questions, man. Where do we pick those songs up at, man? At school? When we hear it around us?
Top 3 creepy last words people said right before dying. A nurse said that one night she was floated to oncology at the hospital she used to work at. She was given a patient who was passing away and had been unconscious for several days. At one point during the night, the nurse went into the room and the patient was on top of the bed. She looked at the nurse and said, "Don't let them take me." The nurse was freaked out and she asked her who was going to take her, and the patient said, "That black thing up there," and pointed up in the air. The patient died within minutes. A guy was rushed into a level 1 trauma facility from a motorcycle versus truck collision. The guy's able to talk at the beginning. He was drunk and cussing out the doctors and nurses trying to help him. They end up intubating him to preserve the airway and he's going downhill fast. He codes, but they manage to bring him back. Suddenly, the guy comes completely to, rips out his tube, grabs one of the med student's hands and lets out a breathy-like scream. "Don't let me die. I'm going to hell. Please don't let me die," he said. This freaks out everyone. The guy said he woke up in hell on fire and keeps begging someone to check his feet for burns. Nobody could believe that he pulled out his tube and was talking. Despite everything they did, the guy still died. The doctors and nurses were freaked out about it for weeks. Emma said that when she worked in a nursing home, they had a resident that was unpleasant, to say the least. One day, Emma was on bell duty. It was her responsibility to answer all the bells for 2 hours. And the man rang his bell and told her that there was a black dog under his bed. Emma looked under the bed, but there was nothing there. She thought that he could have possibly seen a dog because it was a hot day and the front door to the home was open. She told him that the dog must have gone out the door before she arrived. He rang the bell again a short time later, insisting that he could see a dog under the bed. Again, Emma couldn't see anything. This carried on. He became quite hysterical on one occasion, shouting that the black dog under his bed was trying to bite him and that it had red eyes. He looked terrified, and Emma couldn't calm him down for ages until the dog disappeared. She handed over what happened to the nurse in charge and went home as it was the end of her shift. The next day, she was on afternoon shift, and she found out that the man had died not long after she had gone home. It really freaked her out. Emma said that he was a very unpleasant man, and she often wondered if the dog was there to take him away to you-know-where.
Let's seek the truth.
Whatever you do, don't freak out, but this bug lives on your face.
Come again?
Demodex mites dig face first inside your pores. But don't freak out, they're harmless. They just eat your grease and dead skin on your face. But there is one thing you should be worried about. Don't cry, but they do wake up in the middle of the night to mate on your face. Yeah, now you know.
Whoa.
But they're harmless. And they live on all of you. Live with it. Like if you want a part 2 of things you don't know that live on your body.
They're on my face right now, bro. What the hell?
Disturbing facts that will ruin your life. You have to have life insurance policy for 2 years before they'll pay out for a suicide. Brain-eating amoeba exist, and you can contract it from swimming in lakes or tainted tap water. They live in the US and UK. Female dragonflies fake their own death to prevent rape. Before modern medicine, there was this illness called mercy. Basically, if you had it, you were puking your own feces and you were sure to die in great pain. It is caused by obstruction in intestines. Most people trapped in the Titanic, as it went under, did not die of drowning. Rather, they were killed by water blasting into the ship's hull at great speed. At those pressures, the water would cut and crush you before it even had the chance to enter your body. Death by strangulation can turn teeth pink. The stress on the pulp chambers causes it to hemorrhage, so the blood colors the inside. Comment on this video and let me know which fact is the most disturbing.
A bunch of teeth turning pink. I did not know that was even possible, man.
Humans actually came from Mars. Okay, recently the NASA rover Perseverance found organic matter suggesting that life existed on this planet 3.5 billion years ago. Also, the redness of Mars is believed to be a nuclear winter, which is a phenomenon caused by nuclear weapons being used on a planet. Well, there's a theory that human life actually started on Mars. And the reason that we are now on Earth is because we drained all of Mars's natural resources and had no choice at all but to come to Earth. However, if you look at the current situation on Earth, it probably won't be long until Earth turns into Mars.
What do you guys think, man? I thought the whole point, you know, like Elon Musk isn't like he always trying to, you know, reinvent ways to go to Mars. They said some nuclear stuff had already happened, so that kind of has me wondering, man. We shouldn't be, I guess, trying to migrate to other planets, bro. Just need to stay here on Earth. What do you guys think, man? We was on Mars first? Alright.
These are 8 horrifying facts that will probably keep you up at night. Sometimes you laugh, talk, and cry in sleep. It's often a spirit sitting beside you in bed. You are more likely to be bitten by someone in New York than to be bitten by a shark. A human head remains conscious for 20 seconds after being decapitated. If you search up this number on Google, you'll find people with their heads in fridges. Gelatin is made out of bones. That's right.
What?
The melted marshmallow in your hot chocolate is melted animal bone. It's good stuff. You have no way of really knowing if everyone experiences reality and consciousness the same way you do. If a panda finds a fresh carcass, they'll eat it. And last but not least, your phone is likely spying on you right now as you're watching this. Yeah, there's a lot more. Like for part 8.
Is gelatin really made out of bones? Man, we're going to have to check that out. I kind of believe that one. Or they said marshmallows made out of animal bones too. What the hell we putting in our system, Seekers? You never know what you're eating nowadays.
Know these facts? The Boeing factory is so large they had to install a one-of-a-kind air circulation system to stop clouds from forming inside of the building.
Whoa.
This is the world's smallest drawbridge in Bermuda. The US Navy is known to have used Xbox controllers to control the periscopes on submarines. James Cameron was homeless when he wrote The Terminator. He sold the rights for $1 on the condition that he was the one to direct the movie. A race was held in 1888 between a pigeon and a bee for 3 miles, where the bee won by 25 seconds. Camels have 3 eyelids that helps protect their eyes from the blowing sand. Cherries are dried with helicopters. It would take you 18 months to walk the Great Wall of China. The USA speaks more than 350 different languages. Scientists are out there making arguments that we may have more than 5 senses, one of them being magnetoreception, which is the ability to sense magnetic fields, and the other is chronoception, which is the ability to sense time passing.
Here's some everyday life hacks you need to know. Have you ever had a tight ring get stuck on your finger? Well, all you have to do is grab some string and tuck it underneath the ring, and use that same string and keep wrapping it around your finger. Then all you have to do is grab the other side and start pulling, and it will magically remove the ring. Now, who else hates when you have tape on your paper and you end up just ripping it? Well, in order to not do that, all you have to do is grab the tape on both sides and pull really hard, which then causes the tape to be removed very easy, and your paper still intact. Now, if your house key ever breaks in your lock, get yourself a hot glue stick and then place it inside of the lock. Wait for it to dry a little bit and then pull it right out.
Gruesome facts you didn't know, part 82. Weighing nearly 90 pounds, the costume used for the Cowardly Lion in The Wizard of Oz was made of real lion skin and fur, as well as human hair mixed in. The South Fork of the Chicago River was given the nickname Bubbly Creek. It would bubble methane and hydrogen sulfide gas, which was due to meatpackers dumping blood and entrails into the water.
Here are some things you were definitely never meant to see.
Creepy.
Or no. I'm so sorry. Yeah, no, let's start here. What the heck is? This is an image captured from inside of a house in America. Now, it appears to be a gigantic eagle-type bird thing. But when did they get that big? No, that ain't no eagle. That's Lucifer's pet bird. We're all doomed. Next, I bet you didn't know that elephants can actually hear out of their feet. So what you're saying is those abnormally large ears are not the only place an elephant can hear. Nature! You good! Bees can actually live inside of your eye. And to make the nightmare worse, this has happened before to a Taiwanese woman in 2019. When a doctor found not 1, not 2, not 3, but 4 bees living inside of her eye, feeding off her tears. What kind of horror movie shit was that? To make a deal, if you didn't know about any of these, you have to share it.
Hey man, man. Leave a like, man, if y'all never even heard of that before, man. A bee living in somebody's eyes, but not 1, 2, 3, 4 bees, and they were living off of her tears. That's mind-blowing, man. I wouldn't even think something like that is possible. I'm definitely going to have to freaking check up on that story. So those crabs just came out of nowhere? What the hell? And that Red Sea. Are those sounds, man?
The most unnerving facial reconstructions of John and Jane Does. You can first look at the Salem County John Doe. These remains were found in 1979, I believe, in the New Jersey area under a pile of logs and grass. Kind of freaks me out about some of the classic facial reconstructions like this is that the teeth are original, or the same teeth from the skull that this was reconstructed over. Reconstruction is only named in the records that I found as Becca, her story being that she was discovered in Albuquerque in 1991 while hanging in a motel bathroom. But these are another type of reconstruction that I do not like, solely because all of what's depicted here in the illustration is of the actual remains, just they've drawn the eyes open. 1991, Harris County, Jane Doe. December 15th, 1991, when she was found in Houston, Texas, allegedly stuffed into the bottom of a cardboard box. It's a different style of reconstruction, where it is an actual photograph of the body, it's just that the eyes have been photoshopped to be open. If cases of the unsolved or similar stories to this are of interest to you, we do have additional information on the show.
This is some uncanny valley vibes. Those last meals, man.
Back in March, dismembered body parts were found scattered across Long Island, and the victims were eventually identified as 59-year-old Donna Connolly and her partner, 53-year-old Malcolm Craig Brown. Long after, Stephen Brown, Jeffrey Mackey, Amanda Wallace, and Alexis Nieves were arrested in connection to their deaths and charged with first-degree hindering prosecution, tampering with evidence, and concealment of a human corpse. They were all released on bail in mid-March with GPS monitors. But then in May, Jeffrey Mackey and Alexis Nieves were charged with murder. The Suffolk County DA said that the victims had participated in the planning of a gas station robbery back in February, and they allegedly planned it while Mackey and Nieves executed it. This ended up leading to a dispute between Malcolm and Donna and the four suspects, and that dispute ultimately led to their death. It is believed that Nieves and Mackey murdered Donna and Malcolm, while Wallace and Brown helped to dismember and dispose of the bodies. Mackey and Nieves have pleaded not guilty and are maintaining their innocence. But now, both Amanda Wallace and Stephen Brown, who is Malcolm's cousin, have pleaded guilty. This week, Amanda Wallace pleaded guilty to 5 felony charges and named Mackey and Nieves as the perpetrators. And then on Thursday, Brown pleaded guilty to 6 felony charges, admitting to participating in a plot to kill the victims and conceal their deaths. Both Wallace and Brown maintain that they did not commit the actual murders. And it is being said that they are both cooperating with authorities. They have yet to be sentenced, but because they are cooperating and have agreed to a plea deal, their sentence will be reduced than if they pled not guilty. Meanwhile, Mackey and Nieves have been charged with murder and are maintaining their innocence.
Really weird fun facts that you might find pretty damn interesting.
So who's telling
Number
what?
1, banging your head against a wall for an hour burns 150 calories. Number 2, approximately 40,000 Americans are injured by toilets each year. Number 3, there's a higher chance of you being elected president of the United States than winning the lottery. Number 4, an average of 100 people choke to death on ballpoint pens each year. Number 5, it is harder to be an employee at Walmart than a student at Harvard, because Walmart has a lower acceptance rate. Number 6, human birth control pills work on gorillas. Number 7, there are 2 million millionaires in the United States. I am not one of them. And number 8, like fingerprints, every tongue print is different from person to person.
Wow, what the hell? We have tongue patterns? What do you know, man? The hell? 2 million
Fun
millionaires?
facts about the human body PT.2. If someone is sleeping and you blow on their eyes won't react. But if they're awake, they will flutter a bit. That's how you check if someone is really sleeping. If you drink nothing but purple Powerade for 3 days straight, your poop will turn neon green. Your sense of balance is strongly linked to your eyes, and you may notice it's harder to keep your balance with them closed even if you're standing still. Women are actually programmed to forget the pain of childbirth after a few months or so. If this didn't happen, most women would only end up having one child, which would eventually lower the population.
That makes sense. That
Wholesome facts that'll make your day slightly better, part 1. When a human sees a puppy, a chemical called dopamine is released in the brain. Elephants also release dopamine when they see people, meaning that they think we're cute in the same way we think puppies are cute. There's a YouTube channel called Dad, How Do I that teaches young people things that would typically be taught by a father figure. From how to change a tire to how to tie a tie, fans of the channel think it's super helpful. When you're on a walk with your dog and they stop to take a dump, you may notice that your fluffy friend is staring at you as they poop. They do this because they're in a defenseless position and they're trusting you to keep them safe. There are more public libraries in the US than McDonald's. After the horrific events of 9/11, a small Kenyan tribe known as the Maasai people gave 14 cows to the US in their support. The man who played Mickey Mouse ended up marrying the woman who played Minnie Mouse, meaning that true love actually exists.
That's true love right there, man. Who would have thought, bro?
Most of the comments are worried about that little guy, but he's fine. The snake's in trouble though. Meet the Mongoose. They only get up to about 10 pounds. But let me tell you, that is the most ruthless 10 pounds in the world. It's like a hyper-aggressive, condensed version of John Wick that's a fully carnivorous hunter. And they are literally designed to fight snakes. Specifically venomous snakes. Like they prefer venomous snakes. King cobras, regular cobras, rattlesnakes, vipers, it's on sight. Fear? Never heard of her, but basically the reaction speed is faster than a cat, so they can avoid all of the snake's bites. And once it gets close enough, it'll bite the head of the snake, crushing the skull. But the crazy thing is, even if they do take a bite, it's not that big of a deal. They have a protein in their body that binds to the protein in snake venom and digests it, like food. So usually a venomous snake bite will just knock them out for like 15 or 20 minutes, and then it's on to round 2. And as always, follow for more facts. Disturbing facts.
Damn, mongooses, bro. They have black Air Force energy. They try to run the feed with those venomous snakes. The venom don't even do nothing to them, man. We're learning our ass seekers.
Disney that will leave you shocked. 18-year-old actress who voiced Snow White was paid less than $1,000 to do it. She also was not credited. The Pirates of the Caribbean ride at Disneyland used real skulls in its set design when it first opened. Actress who played Lilo in Lilo and Stitch also played Samara in The Ring. Part of your world was almost cut from The Little Mermaid because the chair of Walt Disney Studios was afraid that kids would think that the song was boring. Thon from Beauty and the Beast in the 1995 version was the first male villain in any Disney princess movie. After Finding Nemo came out, there was a problem with kids around the world flushing their dish down the toilet so that they could go back to the ocean.
What?
The music on the It's a Small World ride never, ever turns off. Follow for more facts.
That's Snow White actress, man. That's so messed up that Disney did that.
Police have arrested a Chucky doll for threatening members of the public with a knife. This month, police in Mexico arrested a doll. Terrifyingly, they had been made aware of a Chucky doll who, along with its owner, were threatening the public in Monclova. If you're not already aware, the doll comes from the 1988 film Child's Play. In the movie, the serial killer turns into the doll, which then begins a terrifying crime spree. The owner of the doll has only been identified as Carlos N. He was reportedly scaring the public with the doll, threatening them with a knife and demanding money off them. Both Carlos and the doll were charged with disturbing the peace and putting others' integrity at risk. The doll was handcuffed and taken to the police station. They both had mugshots taken, and there has been some controversy over whether or not the officers were taking their job seriously. The police officer who put cuffs onto the Chucky doll has been reprimanded.
I was about to say that to him, like, why are you arresting a doll? Like, come on, man. Yeah, they have to take
Some
the job
unusual
way more
activity
seriously.
took place at an ATM in Arkansas when the machine dispensed a kitten instead of money. The bank's security guard was making his usual rounds when he noticed a faint meow and realized it was coming from inside the ATM. It was unclear if this animal was just seeking shade or trying to pull off some clever ATM heist, but either way, the security guard figured that the cat should be removed as soon as possible and called the fire department right away. Firefighters arrived on scene, and with a little bit of work, they successfully made a cat withdrawal. Thankfully, while he was a bit grumpy from the ordeal and required some nourishment, the kitten was overall healthy. He was named Cash and taken to the Fort Smith Animal Haven, where a veterinarian placed him on a care plan to recuperate and gain some weight. He was scared at first, but he settled in quickly, and as his personality came out, it became clear that Cash was actually a super friendly and cuddly little guy. After some socialization in a foster setting, Cash was adopted by a local doctor, and he's now living a much more comfortable life away from any banks or ATMs. I'm Jen, and I post something positive every day.
16-year-old Allie.
How did the cat get into the ATM in the first place? I know cats are flexible, but getting in that little small, just holding the ATM, he's living up to his name, Cash.
Vanished off her school bus, and she has never been seen since. This footage is from her high school the day of. It is April 26th, 2010. Well, this footage would mark the last time she was ever actually seen. She ended up getting off her bus stop right on this very street that you see behind me, and this was seen on camera at 56 p.m. And she had already texted her mom that she was going to be walking from their home to her job, which is only about 10 or so minutes away. But at 2:57, just a minute after she got off the bus, she sent a text to her friend. Then her phone mysteriously turned off, and nobody has seen her since. Years into this case, there has only ever been one witness who came forward who said they might have seen a girl who fit her description talking to somebody in a white.
Hard to hear, but that's why.
Disappeared off the earth, man.
Now, supposedly during a big storm on the beach, a giant monster came out. Some people say it was special effects, while others say that it was a giant monster named Cthulhu. Scientists say big creatures like this can't exist on land because their bones wouldn't be able to support their body. But in the ocean, it's possible. All I know is I'm moving to Mars. Let me know in the comments below if you think this is real or fake. Was it really a monster, or are they covering up saying it was effects? And like this video if you want more giant creatures caught on tape.
Is that effects or was that real, bro? Cthulhu?
Scariest bird sounds.
Seen some videos on
not
that.
that with these scary bird sounds again.
Black-collared starling.
Oh, what does that sound like? I thought it was a cat. Oh god, I sound like I'm on the aeroplane. Okay, right, we've gathered this one. Is that real? Peacock, you don't want to pick him off. Wait, that sounds like that alarm, doesn't it? Like the bloody, I don't know what it's called.
It does.
We know what the shoe bill sounds like. Call of Duty. Look. Are these extinct or are they still alive? Because I'd love to see one in person. Look.
What the?
Cassowary.
Oh, this is the deep throat one, isn't it? Apparently these are very dangerous, you know. Everyone was saying that they're quite scary to be near.
White bellbird.
A white bellbird? It doesn't even sound real, does it?
It doesn't.
It sounds like a spaceship coming to get me is what it sounds like. Oh!
This is some dark stuff going on around the world that the public definitely doesn't know about. Up first, humanity has wiped out 60% of the animal population since 1970. Just think about that for a second. 60% of all animal population has been wiped out. This is absolutely crazy, and we use all of these resources for food and clothes and just stuff like that. But when you hear that we killed 60% of the animal population, it kind of makes you think, right? Next up, we all know the mega city that Saudi Arabia is building called Neom. But did you know Saudi Arabia is sentencing people to death who refuse to move out of their homes so they could actually build the mega city Neom? And their relatives are being sentenced to multiple decades of prison time just for protesting and posting their support to the cause on social media. This is absolutely sickening, and I can't believe nobody is talking about this. This next one is going to keep us all up at night. But bacterial resistance to antibiotics is at an alarming level. There has already been instances of pan-antibiotic resistant strains of bacteria. This can throw us back to the pre-antibiotic era, which will effectively mean if you catch an infection, you will die. Just like in the 1400s.
Finally, women are going missing from Indian reservations across some of the United States. Many are young women and are probably being used for sex trafficking. I wonder why they're taking Indian women from Indian reservations. And I wonder why sick stuff happens like this on Earth every single day.
Someone said I should go and watch Chimp Crazy, and I like to think a bungee jump off the Brooklyn Bridge would have been lesser to my blood pressure. If you want the spark notes, it's basically Tiger King but with chimps, but somehow even worse than that. I thought it was common knowledge that chimps are rageaholic chainsaws with thumbs, free will, and no morality to tie them down. It's a whole part-time predator with the Punisher skill set and cannibalistic tendencies. I do not get how in the decade of 2020, people still think it's a good idea to invite this reality check of the animal kingdom into your living room. You've probably heard the horror stories of people that tried playing house with a chimp and then found out, but here's a story you might not have heard. Once upon a time, there was a place called Chimp Party. Well, actually, it was renamed the Missouri Primate Foundation, but that sounds way too professional for what was going on there. So, Chimp Party. And what it was basically a puppy mill, but for chimps in Festus, Missouri. As bad as you think it is, probably worse. Basically, breeding chimps to sell as exotic pets or rent for TV or commercials or whatever. Anyway, one day the chimps got out. Actually, it happened more than once, but this time in 2001, they escaped and ended up pressing a nearby family. A family that included 18-year-old Jason Coates. The chimps were throwing rocks, they chased him into a car, and it was fully chimped out. Now, you know Jason a real one, because stuff didn't get serious until they started throwing his dog around. He was not letting that slide. So the story goes, Jason ran out the car, got into the house, and came back with the mouse Cthulhu. He tried scaring them, but when one of the chimps, Susie, charged him, he sent her the dog backwards. But here's where it gets wicked. Not only did Jason get arrested and charged with chimp murder, not only was he put in jail with grown men for refusing to be chimp bait, not only did he miss the birth of his first child because he was in there, he would be registered as a felon because of it until only a couple years ago. I love animals, I really do, but if a chimp's coming at me with malicious intent, well actually any intent, and I got that pole on me, either the chimp's getting it or I'm self-medicating with a bullet. For 20 years he was a convicted felon for the crime of not letting a chimp peel him like a banana, and we know that would have happened because Susie had a son named Travis. Yeah, the same Travis that literally defaced a woman. That's a literal travesty. Yeah, moral of the story, chimping ain't easy, but it won't stop some people from trying.
On the ceiling. Like people hanging from the ceiling in his room. When the dad asks what he's drawing, the boy replies, "That's just my friend, the hanging man." He said, "I see him every night. He just hangs there in my room and sometimes bothers my stuff." So of course the dad's like, "Oh, it's just an imaginary friend, right?" Or maybe he just saw this in a movie or something. By the way, since you're watching me eat pizza and I'm making you suffer, your third act has to buy you a full pizza. He then erases the kid's drawing, tells him to draw it again. The kid then draws the man up close. It's just his head hanging from the ceiling, with tears coming out of his eyes. The boy explains to his father, "Yeah, I see him crying some nights. I see him with tears coming down his eyes." This is where things get crazy. The dad sets up a camera in the boy's room. This is what he catches.
What the?
Extinct animals, scientists are close to reviving. Firstly, the woolly mammoth. It was believed to have gone extinct 25,000 years ago, but scientists discovered hundreds that just died recently. So they're planning to put its DNA inside African elephants, and they expect to bring them back in the next 5 years. Next, dodo birds were hunted to extinction 400 years ago, but a preserved head was recently discovered. By mixing that DNA with a maned pigeon, dodo birds should be coming back in 15 years. Finally, expect to see saber-toothed tigers outside soon, because scientists discovered DNA preserved in tar pits, and they plan to combine it with African lions. So this 10-inch toothed beast should be coming back in 10 years.
Nah, that's throwing off the ecosystem.
Here is the creepiest place on Earth. The island of dead dolls is located on the canals of Mexico City. It has widely been deemed one of the most haunted places on Earth. Why? 1,500 dolls hung on trees. The story goes a Mexican man was traveling on the canals when he found a dead girl next to the banks of a river. The man found a doll next to her and pinned it on a tree out of respect for the little girl. When he got home, he heard voices of spirits beckoning him to come back to the island with more dolls. The man then spent the rest of his life, 50 years, bringing 1,500 dolls to the island. The man died in 2001, but he left behind an island that's visited by thousands of tourists each year. So what do you think? Would you go to this island?
Secret, should I go to the island of dolls, man? This sounds like some very dark energy over there, so that's somewhere, a place I will be avoiding, man. Try to pay your sex, man, but you start hearing voices, turn to something else. We'll not be going there.
Strangest jobs that actually exist.
First is a professional mourner. It's a tradition in Southeast Asia that a loud funeral will assist the dead as they travel to the afterlife. So professional mourners are hired to cry and weep loudly throughout the service. Next is a dog food taster, and they're used to ensure that the food that's prepared for dogs is of high quality and taste. And they work with all types of dog foods and treats, and on average they make about $40,000 a year. Next is a professional screamer, and most of the screams you hear in movies are done by professional screamers, so actors and actresses don't hurt their vocal cords. There are many different types of screams they have, like a quick scare to a blood-curdling scream, and they make an average of $64,000 per year. Next is a professional snuggler. Professional snugglers offer comfort to people who feel lonely, depressed, have medical problems, or have suffered severe trauma. They have a wide variety of cuddling styles for different people and their needs, and they get paid anywhere from $20 to $40 per hour.
5 deadly.
We see that before on YouTube.
Part 2. Kangaroos are responsible for 90% of animal-related car accidents, making them the deer of down under. Difference is, deer aren't built like somebody that'll put you in the ER and make love to your wife after. Of course, the most lethal thing with feathers, the cassowary. Because those daggers can tear flesh, open arteries, and slice your intestines out with one maliciously placed kick. If they weren't shy, it would get bad. Magpies are anything but shy. These flying black air forces will attack people and assaults that could blind the victim. And since they can remember your face for 5 years, beefing with an angry bird is signing a max contract of abuse. At number 2 is the most venomous fish on the planet and master rock impersonator, the stonefish. Accidentally step on them and they'll shoot venomous spines through your skin, which can flatline you in 2 hours. Symptoms include extreme pain, respiratory weakness, paralysis, and an obituary. Number 1 is the Irukandji jellyfish. Not because they can revoke your birth certificate in 2 minutes, but because they're so small you would never see it coming. One of the symptoms of getting stung is an impending feeling of doom, which causes some patients to beg the doctors to end them just to get it over with. Most stings aren't fatal, but I would still deep throat a cactus before I go swimming in the ocean.
Here's 3 reasons why you should never visit the dark web. The dark web is the part of the internet that isn't available on search engines such as Google. Government agencies say it's a heaven for criminal activity. You may see things that you can't ever forget. Some people have had to have therapy after accidentally clicking on the wrong links, damaging their psychological state forever. You can easily get hacked. If you don't know how to properly use the dark web, then your identity can be exposed to both criminals and the police. In the UK in 2017, there were 1,210 drug busts related to the dark web. Terrorism. Anti-terrorism authorities have uncovered multiple instances of terrorist groups using the dark web to coordinate their actions. Stay safe.
I'm never going on the dark web. Stay away from that part of the net.
Houses in the world. This is the mirror cube. It is completely camouflaged and you'll never be found. If you go on a walk through the forest, you need to leave a light on in order to find it on your way back. This is the bird's nest. You just climb up that little ladder up into the top, and then there's little portholes on the inside that will let you look out. This is the ghost house. It was designed this way after being used as a prison and a funeral home to represent all the ghosts that apparently reside here. This is Spitbank Fort. It was once a fort and now a luxury private island house. This is the upside down house. No one actually lives in this house, but you can get some great photos from it.
Wow.
This is the Sky Sphere, the ultimate smart treehouse. The dude who built this didn't even know how to weld, he just Googled his way to building it. He uses his fingerprint to get in, and everything is either voice activated or phone controlled. This is including the beer dispenser integrated into the armrest. He spent 3,000 hours and $60,000 to build this. This is the toilet house. It is a house shaped like a toilet.
Okay.
Humans. Komodo dragons. Piranhas. Crocodiles. Jaguars. African driver ants.
They humans?
Bears. Lions. Catfish. Wolves. Tigers. Cheetahs.
Okay.
Hyenas. Sharks. Dogs.
Dogs? What the fuck?
Polar bears. Snakes. Cats.
I've heard stories about cats.
Sloth bears. Creepiest kid toes that were banned. Time monsters. There was a hidden message inside the time monsters that says, turn off the TV. Evil stick. behind the foil that shows a demonic young girl. Cabbage Patch Kids. The doll almost ripped out a girl's hair. Potty time with Elmo. The Elmo doll was saying who wants to die.
Glitches?
And Coo doll. The door was saying Islam is the light. Sky dancers. It flew in random, unpredictable directions, which injured children and adults.
Did any of I had any of those toys growing up? I remember the Cabbage Patch, I think, Kid Dolls commercials or Party Time with Elmo. That's it, man. Like I said, our childhood, bro. Once we're kids, we don't recognize what's really going on, but as you get older, you realize, man, some weird and dangerous stuff was going on back then.
This lady is a real-life human devil. This 93-year-old woman from China actually has a horn growing out of her head. Everyone in her village fears and outcasts her. But with all the attention she's been getting, she's actually able to make a living out of it. She's tried cutting it off multiple times, but nothing has worked. And now there's a second horn growing out of her head.
Okay, what the hell is that? The horn woman or lady?
Why do guys never block their exes? Facts about exes you've never been told. The last one will surprise you. After a breakup, guys generally take longer to move on compared to girls. If your ex comes back sometime after your separation, it's because he hasn't found anyone better. Now, TikTok knows who you're going to fall in love with, and it's the second person you see when you click on share, then on the plus button. It's strange because when you were together, he didn't block his exes, but as soon as you break up, he blocks you instantly. If your ex texts you, it's not because he misses you. It's to see if he can still manipulate you. Comment, "Why do I?" and let your keyboard complete the sentence with suggestions. If your ex sees another girl shortly after you broke up, then he never really loved you. If you subscribe to me, my profile picture will turn black. Before this last fact, don't forget to subscribe and like the video to learn something new every day. 80% of people continue to spy on their ex after the breakup.
Terrifying things found in abandoned places. A YouTuber by the name of Urbex Hill was exploring an abandoned school when he soon realizes that he wasn't alone. Just watch this clip and be warned.
You gotta be brave to do that.
There was a man living inside of the abandoned school. What would you do if you stumbled upon a man living inside of an abandoned school? Follow for more videos.
Dude, what he did, hit the jets.
Disneyland park you're forbidden to go to. This park is called Discovery Island. This is located in the middle of Disney World's Bay Lake, and it's only accessible by boat. The purpose of Discovery Island was to showcase different birds and protect wildlife, and it was housing 500 different endangered species. There was free roaming birds, animal shows, treetop walking, and even had alligator swamps. But the island had to close this park on April 4th, 1999, and now you're not even allowed to get within 50 feet of it. Now there's many reasons why it closed. There was free roaming alligators, which is extremely dangerous, and there was a deadly bacteria found in the park's waters.
Telling the stories of TikTokers as if they're true crime cases. This is the tale of Britney Broki. Britney was a young woman living out in Texas in 2019 when she created a video that changed everything. This was not a normal video. In the video, she could be seen drinking kombucha with an array of reactions and faces of disgust. Following the fame of the video on Stan Twitter, Britney was subsequently fired from her job, leading her out to California with an accomplice named Sarah Shower. It was around this time that they both crossed paths with a woman named Tracy Martell. Tracy had taped numerous videos with Britney as the subject where she could be seen repeatedly scalping her on camera. It's believed Britney survived the ordeal, although no one knows of her current whereabouts. She's most recently been spotted in a series of videos that seem to be confined to one room, although police have no way of knowing if this is a bunker or if she's being held here. And Tracy Martell has never been caught.
Whoa, so she's the one who made that face like
Here's some foods that
Dark
are now
stories.
discontinued. The popular fruit yogurt snack Yogos disappeared from the market in 2010 following low demand, as well as Shark Bites in 2014 after a flavor change ruined the taste. Haribo sugar-free gummy bears were canned in 2015 after discovering the sweetener they used caused explosive diarrhea. Sometimes it's worth it though. Lime Skittles were canned in 2013 and Mars replaced the lime flavor with green apple, which actually caused a ton of protests. Taco Bell's Mexican pizza was taken off the menu in 2020 due to environmental concerns, though a wave of protests led to its revival in 2022. Sadly, the same can't be said about McDonald's snack wrap. After being a menu staple for many years, it was removed in 2016 with no warning. Oreo Cakesters were removed from the shelves in 2013 after relatively low demand. Easy Square took the market by storm with its Shrek collab in 2000, but it was pulled from the shelves in 2006 after creative differences. Many people refuse to believe this, but spearmint and cinnamon Tic Tacs were discontinued a few years ago as well. Other retired candies include Cream Savers in 2012, Butterfinger BBs in 2006, and Nestle Wonder Balls in 2004. And the Kudos Bar also had their run end in 2017. Oreo O's were gone for a long time, but apparently they're making a comeback. Same with Trix Yogurt, which was gone for about 6 years, but is rumored to be back on the shelves. And same with Dunkaroos, which were brought back in 2020 for a second run. And lastly, Cheetos Twisted Puffs left us in 2012, but at least we still have spicy Cheetos.
Whatever you do, do not...
Half of those foods, man. I remember, especially the Yogos. I remember as a kid. I don't like with the Yogos. You see that, but we don't see that no more. The Twisted Puffs. That's true. You don't see that no more, man. It's kind of interesting, man. Like how you go into stores, but you don't even notice like the things you go up with, how they just slowly just fade off and off the market. But now, like I said, some of them making a comeback. I still see Oreo Cakesters. I remember the snack wrap off from McDonald's. Yeah, that's been gone. I remember when people were mad about that, but that's crazy. You guys remember any of those snacks that got discontinued? Some of them shocked me.
Dolls right here. They're called timeout dolls and they're creepy. And if you don't believe me, just listen to this story. There was this girl and she was babysitting and they had one of these timeout dolls in the house.
Guys, I'm babysitting and I just found the creepiest. Look at this. What is that? Oh my god.
She was like mimicking what the doll looks like, but then something so scary happened.
Oh god.
Hmm?
Something was running, and it looked just like the doll. And I think if it wasn't for this mirror, nobody would have seen it, but this girl has not posted since.
Definitely saw something moving in the background. Is that a doll or a kid?
Celebrities that are evil, part 3.
Billie Eilish.
Who's on this list, man?
Rihanna. Taylor. Cardi B. Dua Lipa.
What is it with celebrities when they do that sound like this? It's like they're playing it right in front of our face.
Zayn Malik.
Yeah, that sound has to mean something, man.
Gal Gadot. Jad Smith. Britney Spears.
Jaden Smith on that thing too?
Imagine spending 18 years in prison for
you
something you never did. In 1995, Daniel Villegas was only 18 years old when he was wrongfully convicted of a double homicide. It all happened in 1993 when two teens were walking home from a party when a car came up behind them and shot them and killed both of them. Daniel Daniel was brought in for questioning, and the detectives threatened to beat him and give him the death penalty if he refused to confess. Keep in mind that Daniel was only 16 years old at the time, so he was easily manipulated. He was also coerced to sign a confession that was prepared by the detectives. After he realized what he'd done, he tried to withdraw his confession, but at that point, it was too late. Daniel was sentenced to life in prison until 2018. This is the moment his case was acquitted and he became a free man at the age of 38.
If the defendant will please stand. This is the moment that Villegas will find out if he'll go home with his family or be sent back to prison to serve his life sentence. The state of Texas versus Daniel Villegas. Verdict form B. We, the jury, find the defendant Daniel Villegas not guilty of...
I got chills watching that video, man. Imagine you spend all that time for something you didn't do.
Animals you didn't know exist. This is a Venezuelan poodle moth. It was discovered in 2009. It is known for its cuddly, cute looks, and it looks kind of like a Pokemon. It uses the fur on its body to sense and smell things. Would you keep it as a pet? Speaking of pets, I've been taking care of this little guy during quarantine. If you also want your little cat pet, link is in my bio.
Psychology hacks you need to know. If someone is trying to make you decide something in a hurry, they're most likely giving you a bad deal, and you should just walk away. If a person is trying to intimidate you, stare at their forehead with a blank expression. This will psychologically make them self-conscious. Chewing gum when you're nervous really does help, because your brain thinks, I'm eating, so I must not be in danger. If you want to know if someone is interested in what you're saying, cross your arms. If they cross their arms too, this is called mirroring, and it actually means they're interested in the conversation. If you need to remember to do something tomorrow, just put something in your room out of place. The next day, you'll see this item out of place, and you'll remember why you put it there. Finally, if two people are arguing, stand in between them and eat something. It'll help alleviate the tension.
Really? It's that useful fat hacks, man.
Let's talk about this picture. Captured in 2008 by Daniel Young, this is one of the only pieces of evidence that this encounter actually happened. So Daniel was a custodian at Myrtle Elementary School where he worked the night shift. It's a pretty routine night. He's just listening to music when he's suddenly interrupted by the sound of a woman's laughter. He turned around and was terrified when he saw an unknown woman smiling from behind the corner. This was a locked school on after hours, so clearly she was an adult who broke in, so he tried to snap a picture to identify her and then chases after her. But when he turned the corner, she had already darted out of an emergency exit. Later that night, police are called to a home where they arrive at a tragedy. An unknown woman had broken into a nearby home where she knifed two parents, one who was the principal of this school, so brutally they were unrecognizable. One of the daughters who witnessed this woman before she got away described her as this person. Could this photo be of the same unknown woman? And what her connection is to the school and the principal, we don't know.
Hey, Link, man. Great case. Toy Stories in real life.
Would you ever robot me? New fear unlocked.
Gotta be careful here.
What do you got? Oh, he's trying to lure him in.
Well, that puts an end to my tarpon fishing.
Oh.
Wow.
Throw the rod and hit the jets.
Get back. Here are the weirdest and most unbelievable creatures to ever wash up on the beach. Part 2. First, in 2016, a group of fishermen stumbled across this huge 176-pound smelly thing that looked a lot like a rock. At first, they didn't think much of it, but shockingly, it was actually whale vomit, which is used to formulate luxury fragrances. Which means whale vomit can be sold at very high prices. This 176-pound chunk of the stuff was valued at $3 million.
Damn.
Next, in July of 2018, this creature that looks like a demon was found washed up on the shores of Montauk, New York. Supposedly, the creepy-looking carcass for some reason wasn't available for autopsy as it was carted away by an unknown group of people.
Many have speculated it might be the mutant product of experimentation at the controversial Plum Island Animal Disease Center, which is near where the creature was found.
What? I'm about to say that looked like, yeah, like a hybrid or something, man. And it's right next to that disease center, and they experimenting, man, trying to make some animals. And in this world today, bro, you never know. Whoa. They're really trying. They just dumped it on, if you can see.
Creepy facts I bet you didn't know, part 1. Doctors originally invented the chainsaw for childbirth. 4,400 unidentified bodies are found every single year. There's over 18.6 million vacant homes in the United States. In 1800, dentures were made from the teeth of the deceased. The Devil's Bible is a real thing. It's called the Codex Gigas.
Whoa. Dentures made by real teeth in 1800? Using a dead person's teeth? Did some weird things back in the day.
To summon our guardian angel who will grant your deepest wishes, first draw this symbol on your hand. Now draw a line and a loop around your wrist like handcuffs. Now make your hand into a fist and dip it in a bowl of water. Now take out your hand and place it over your eyes. Now move your hand and open your eyes, and your guardian angel will appear before you to grant you any wish. But be careful, as some can't handle what they see when they open their eyes. Are you brave enough to try this? Then heart this video and follow my account.
Oop, I never do any of those type of rituals or anything. I'm good.
What would you do if somebody offered you $3,000 to let your child try out a new playground? They tell you you're not allowed to tell anybody about this beforehand and you can't disclose the location of where I'm taking you. But they give you $1,000 up front and you get the other $2,000 after your child starts playing on the playground. You see, this is a trap because the playground is designed in order to hurt as many young ones as possible, or even to unalive them. This is the story of Aaron Beauregard's playground. The story follows a bunch of lower income families that are tricked into doing this, and it's about all these young ones trying to survive the playground. It's obviously a horror novel, but I've heard a lot of people talking about it on TikTok recently, and I decided to pick it up. I've seen almost everyone unanimously agree that they can't get past page 40. I'm gonna read the whole book, but I'll give you an update on here once I get to 40. So I'm on page 41 now. Would not recommend reading that while you're eating. I see why that page made some people stop reading, but not in the way that I thought it would be. I'm gonna finish the book though.
This is the true story.
These people do for money.
The Vatican has held the head of a possessed nun for over 300 years. In 1742, a nun named Josephine Rosenthal appeared pregnant. Josephine became frustrated when she claimed that she had not had relations with a man. As a result of this, tests were performed which determined that she was still a virgin, and it was determined that she was a divine case. Josephine lost her life when she gave birth to a baby girl named Maria Rosenthal. Maria became the object of ridicule by nuns and priests because she was a hermaphrodite, and people perceived her as a demonic being for having such a condition. In view of this, church leaders came up with a plan to take Maria's life at the same age as Jesus at 33 years old, to make her death seem divine. This plan reached Mary's ears, so she decided to take her own life. After that, the priests ordered her head to be removed and embalmed in a box with a cross. After her death, Maria began to give paranormal apparitions in the convent.
This is the scariest photo ever taken, and I'll explain why. In 2009, this photo began circulating on the internet. No one knew where it came from or who uploaded it. This is the Cooper family. They took this photo after moving into their new home in Texas. But when they got the photo developed, something eerie appeared in the photo. This is the full photo. Excuse me, that is straight up a ghost in your photo.
What?
They got photobombed by a ghost. No, but seriously, they were horrified when they got this photo developed. House. So they think that's the previous owner. I can't even stare at it. This photo literally gives me the chills. Make sure you guys like and follow for more spooky content. Also, you can follow me on YouTube. Link in bio.
Imagine seeing that in a picture.
Don't ever speak to the shadow people. To speak to the shadow people, all you need to do is draw this symbol on a piece of paper. Or stand in a well-lit room where you can see your shadow on the floor in front of you. Now place the symbol directly on top of your shadow and say, "From the darkness I welcome you here," one time. You have now allowed the shadow entity into yourself. You can ask it any questions that you'd like. But be warned, the shadow people can make you incredibly lucky in life or completely ruin it. Are you brave enough to try this? Then heart this video and follow my account.
No! Is that a platypus?
Platypus is
probably the weirdest animal that exists on Earth. It's like a duck mixed with a beaver with an otter's feet. They're also a mammal that lays eggs, and they're venomous, which is also weird for a mammal. And the way their venom works is wild. It's found in their back legs, and basically they just kick you and drive their spurs into you, which injects the venom. And scientists pretty much know nothing about their venom. There's no cures to it. And get this, when they jump in water, their eyes and their ears shut down, so they're pretty much deaf and blind. But it's cool because they can connect to the electromagnetic field of any creature, so they can hunt creatures by detecting their electrical pulses. Call me crazy, but that's a superpower. They also have no teeth, so when they need to chew, they just throw rocks in their mouth to grind up their food. And I don't know where the food goes, because they also don't have a stomach. Oh, and they also don't have nipples, but they have milk. It just comes out of their armpits. Moral of the story, if you ever feel weird, like you're an oddball, just remember, the platypus exists. And as always, follow for more facts.
Perry the platypus man's weird, bro. What the hell? Seekers. If you guys made it with me to the end of the video, you're a true seeker seeking the truth. I greatly appreciate the support, man. Like I said, make sure you guys comment down below, like the video, follow me on all my social medias. You guys can catch you in the next one, man. I'm out. Peace, YouTube.